Hey guys, hope you're doing great. Welcome to another talk show from WeInkWriters. So today we have, it's been a while. I know it's been a while. We had the previous talk shows, so we'll, manage that in the next couple of weeks. So today we have Nirmal with us. He'll be briefing about, how to earn as an NGO. So that is the topic that we have today, and he's the founder of Why I Elect. So he'll be discussing more on that. If you have any queries, please post in the chat section so that he'll be able to answer the last. So, just a quick intro of how you get started with this and how you got initiative of for getting started with this kind of initiative. So we'll brief about that, and then you can go ahead with the session.
Sure, man. First of all, I'm so thankful to WeInkWriters and Santhosh for giving me this opportunity. So this is my gratitude, of course. So to start with, how and where why I elected started was it's a little bit going to the past. So in my second year, I was given a speech by one of my passed out uh, one of college mate. And speech he told that have three main goals in life. That one is to always determine the role what you're going to do for the next few years or upcoming a decade or so for you. So that inspired me. That made me to move on. So entering the second year, I know that B wasn't my thing. So I have to move a step ahead. I have to move out of that box of BE. Then one thing that naturally came out or popped out of me was having a respect to representing a speech anywhere and elsewhere I could. So I was good at that. I was going into the stages, giving some talks, lecturing out. Even for students, I had to take some classes. So I was good at that. So how to move beyond that? So let's take a step ahead of that. And in my third year, I went to this 1 week workshop in leadership development. So it was conducted by a general body called Atlanta, and it was great. It was amazing. There were like 20 overall candidates selected all over India, and I was one among them. And there
Great.
we gossiped some ideas. We went into some collaborations with other people. We first for me it was a great experience seeing all those guys together actually. So it was something great. There were people from the north, from the west, from the southernmost border, somewhere from Kerala. So it was a diversity and collaborations, and that led to some new ideas. So there this concept popped out. Why I elect from the students to the students community. That idea popped out there. And later on, some programs I conducted in my own school, I conducted in my college and some other colleges, some trustees too. So I'm happy for it. We have successfully completed a 2 digit of numbers of programs, and we are happy that that's how this YA elect formed out.
Yeah, that's really great. So giving back to the society is what we also insist on each and every one. So when you go ahead of career, or if you go ahead of people, and you tell your juniors or you tell your followers that how you cross the barriers and how you achieve success. So that is the core of being a successful person. It is not just the money you earn or just the fame you earn. What is you are giving back to the society? What matters at the end. So you can go
Exactly.
ahead and discuss more on the NGO thing. And
Sure.
yeah,
And where to start as an NGO. So there always been a debate between what is the full abbreviation for NGO. Some go with non-gazetted organization, some go with non-governmental organization. The on-call theft is non-government organization. So that's the first
yeah,
thing you have to be clear with. So in India, an NGO plays a phenomenal role. We are a developing country, so it is not that we are always to be dependent on a government body or a government celestial. So we can do it privately. We can move independently. That's where NGO comes in. So in India, there are three categories of NGOs. First of all, let me like briefly tell you that. So the first category called a trustees. So in which a main sponsor, a person donates financially, like a concept, or he brings together some group of trustees and provides for the ones who are needed them. So trustee is the first concept. Second one is society. May forming a society of your own. Like to be very precise, even the Red Cross Club was once a society, and later it moved on to a club, and now it's throughout India in schools and colleges. So that's how
yeah,
a society is formed as an NGO. There and another comes a non-profited companies. So non-profitable companies, and again are like some of my roles actually. They enlighten student community. They come into health sectors. They develop in social activities too. So even we have seen a lot of disasters nowadays, like the Thane storm, are coming to Chennai floods. Lot of these floods, and the people first who first come to the action or come to the light point are not all these non-profited guys. So the non-profit companies, these type of NGOs comes first, and these are the three main categories in India. So what does an NGO cover is like an NGO covers four main things: that health, education, social upliftment, and a general public awareness intimation. That's the general role of NGO plays all around the world. So in India, it is cleanly established. As of 2016, we are having 35 lakh of registered NGOs in India. So that's one thing we have to be proud of, and our youngsters are doing great in this particular field too. So I would always, whenever given speech, whenever someone asks me that, I will always tell there's a small line between entrepreneurship and NGO. You have to stay focused in that. So entrepreneurship is basically converting an idea I have to a business motive, whereas NGO is a social welfareness, or a social awareness, a social upliftment I'm doing towards my own community or the community around me. So that's
Yeah.
basically NGO. So how I got into this stream is, as I told the prenom, it was like a moving upon when I saw students, when I saw when I was one among them. So when I was sitting down, there was a person talking. So when went up, I saw people down there, and I wanted to give some the plus credit for them. So we have to move on in that perspective. So there are students, there are millions and millions of students in India who are like lacking where to go and when to go or which place to go. Lot are having this idea to go abroad, lot are having this idea to write exams and so on. Lot are not having the idea what to do in their future UG or PG studies. So they needed a platform to tell them what is happening around them. So that's why I elect is uh, part of being an NGO, like putting it on for the students.
Great. So we have different classifications of people working on NGO. So there's some work on education field, some have some funding kind of a thing. They fund people around them, or they contribute to orphanages and so on. So what kind of you think that will benefit the society the most or the people the most?
This is a tricky one actually. If you want the people to be technically advantaged or privileged more, is like lending out. As I told, the first one, trustees, trustee NGOs
Yeah.
come into this act actually. So there are a lot of trustees, man. Believe me. Like if you skip a stone, there'll be a trustee there waiting out. So people are there to help. So people can obviously benefit out of them. The problem is picking them out is the difficult choice. You have to pick them out. You have to clarify with them. You have to sit with them and talk. I'm having the so on so on. Let's say I'm having a child house. I'm having trouble with educating those people. So can you sponsor me? So picking them out and sitting with them and moving them forward, that's the difficult part. So that's one of the main costs of advantages of playing an NGO that will directly will involve changes in lives of people. There are lakhs and lakhs of guys who are doing that in and around India. So there's no problem in that. But what we're doing here, like I'm an NGO, so how can I earn out of it? So that's the topic you have to refresh on again. So that's a difficult point as an NGO. Earning is very difficult, believe me. I'm doing this for like 1.5 years. It's been tough road for me.
Yeah.
And I have to move on in certain points. So if the people have to get if the people, as for your question, if the people have to get benefited, it's definitely through a trustee NGO. That's the only point. People will be directly involved and get benefited.
So it's like contributing to them or helping that in some way that you improve their life, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, what are the kind of broad perspective of NGOs that they cover? Like some you have said like the trustees who give financial support, and there are people who are helping to the orphanages. So, what is the broad spectrum of apart from these two? What are the other sectors that an NGO can contribute?
Health is the first and foremost thing. So when it
Yeah,
comes to health, hospital loans, and especially medical expenses, even in these certain times and periods, health comes first and foremost. So that's a as a broad spectrum, I would say health. Second and foremost is education. Obviously, education. There's a lot and lots of people doing that stuff here. There are lots of people who want to like move the young generation of India towards an educated society, especially in the rural side. It's not a debatable question at all. There are people doing that. And
yeah,
second thing is obviously food and shelters. Like whenever you go to a home or whenever you go visit a nearby, let's say an orphanage or anything, They will have a board in which they says today's sponsor will be, and they will mention the person who's sponsoring for food. So food is a broad thing, like hungry stomach cannot do an act on its own. So food is a broad thing
Exactly.
that is moving on. So food is at the max scale, I would say food, of course. And other than this, there are some people those are helping in like the for the disabled persons. They're helping with some equipments like wheelchairs,
Mhm.
handlebar sticks, and these are great contributions. Even like I've heard like there are few orphanages or trustees who donate logs of wood for the reason for this the people in those places can develop their at least can develop their workspace out of like craftsmanship in wood based architectural stuff. So it is growing these days actually. We love wood based crafts actually. So it's moving
Yeah.
up. People are ready to do anything. And as I told again, it's difficult to grab them and put them and speak to them. That's the problem here. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So when you kind of difficult to put people and talk them and to create some awareness and make them accept that this is the real fact and you have to move ahead. So, so another thing, when an NGO comes, so there are people who are willing to start an NGO or doing something to society, but they don't know where to start. So there are a lot of people lagging in that area. So if you can give them some insights on where to start or how to start an NGO or kind of registration kind of a thing, it could be helpful for them.
Yeah, sure. That's definitely a valid question actually. So it is not easy, as I told. So first and foremost, have a basic. That's the key aspect. So my sort of NGO was enriching student community. So I go up the stage. I run a brainstorming session. I have few of my colleagues around. They give a brainstorming session. We interact with the audience. We tell them what is going on around you. What are the opportunities you have around you, and we move on. That is my baseline actually. So my baseline is basically enriching students community. So you have your own baseline. Let's say for example, there's a concept I have, like let's say at the nights the empty food or the waste food that hotels have, I'm having concept to collect all those foods and deliver to the orphanages and around. So that's a very good concept. So you're forming the concept here, your baseline is set. Second thing is have more communication related in that field. Have guys who can help you in that field. Have people who have that knowledge already in that field, and move along. So if you're a nil experienced guy, you're a rookie there, so you cannot move on your own. Then you get people who can do that, who can do it along with you, who are having the same motto, same
Yeah,
mindset along with you. Then move on. And third thing is do it in a small basis. Start it too small, maybe in your area, then to your like a localized zone, then comes your district, then comes your city, then to a mass wide region. You cannot like straight away hit on the road and tell I can do anything on my own. That's totally
yeah,
impossible for a single person to move on. So get
yeah,
people
exactly.
and do people in a small zone. Third thing is, as you asked, registration. It's very tedious process. When you're getting a certification for NGO, it's not a simple thing. Like 13, 14 steps the government has put forward to us. Yes, government is
Yeah,
supportive in that cases. Actually, we have to get the director's digital signature. Starting from that's the step one. From step one to attaching your PAN, verifying your address, giving your local certificates. There's a lot of process. So don't rush into that step first. So run an NGO successfully for at least a year or so. Have some thoughts and forth, have some feedbacks taken in, do some corrections. Okay, let's and come up with a good name actually. Even why I elect, I don't think is a good name. Come up with a good name actually. Move forward, put forth, bring people together who are in the same mindset, and of course move on. And registration is like a piece of cake after all these steps.
okay, that's great. So that helps a lot of people on getting started with registering with NGO. So on final thing, final thoughts, and we will wrap this up. So last part, we'll talk about the earning part. So I think that
Sure.
is the pick of today. So let's discuss something on that, and then we will wrap up.
Sure. Like the earning part, the main finally we're up to the main topic.
Yeah,
So the earning part, as I told, isn't that easy. It's not going to like you go in. Let's take my example. So go in. I tell the college that I'm a guy who conducts program for students to enrich this knowledge. So give me this sum of amount, and I'm going to do it. Like they will kick me off the minute I say that. So it is totally
yeah,
not possible. So what I do first, I register myself as a person, as a community here. So
yeah,
I like through a portfolio, I tell people that yes, I am a person capable of doing these stuff. So let me do this stuff. Let me at least give you a demo and prove myself. So first of all,
Mm.
prove myself out there. So once people start to trust you, once people start to believe you, then it's a hit on, man. Then it's straight uphill road. Then no problem for you. No one is stopping you there. Then
Yeah.
again, the next problem is like you told, the certification comes in. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to a higher road of target. So I'm picking on some thousand audience now. What to do now? So the problem now is I have to like more and more develop myself here, not just with the primary level I had. I have to develop myself here. So as I told, like I'm coming up with the people who already know this field well. So I'm good at that. So I'm bringing out them now. I'm showing the pawns of my chessboard now. So let's
Yeah.
move on another step. Okay, this guy can do stuff for 1,000 people. Come on, 1,000 is not the limit. Only the sky is limit. Let's hit to
Yeah.
10,000. Let's go even higher. So at that rate, at that point is where I determine the amount I earn. At that rate, I fix
Mm.
some tentative amount. That I'm reasonable here. I'm not just invalidating anything. I'm reasonable here. I'm saying, come on, man, I'm doing these much things. Why can't you just offer some money? Like you can see in those Insta posts, like where these guys use this Joker poster and say this thing. I don't know even Joker said that. It will be mentioned as if you're good at anything, don't do it for free. I never
Yeah.
heard Joker say that, but I used to see Joker in that quote. But that's true. That's 100% true. If you're good at anything, never do it for free. That's my
Yeah.
very first
Exactly.
advice to anyone. So you move on, you're good at it. Yes, I'm settled now. Yeah, I'm having this frame fixed on me that I can perform well. So I'm again demanding the brand out of me. That's the
Exactly.
concept here. Demanding the brand out of me. I'm getting it
Yeah.
out. Yeah, cool, man. I'm done. So I'm going to do this on a monthly basis and a yearly basis, and let's see how it
Yeah.
works out. I just run a test trial. Okay, good. I'm getting my incomes now. I'm getting the numbers in for me. The account balance is increasing. And if you push forward and you set your own target later on. So that's how it works throughout the process. So again,
Okay.
Samir,
Really,
I have
when
to like, sure, sure.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
go ahead.
like mention one more thing.
Yeah.
Some are having a doubt to whether can I join in another functioning NGO, or can I create my own NGO, or can I take this as my full-time career? So that's the main question some are asking. So even before going to the comments, I would like to knock on this first. So if you're all going to join in an NGO, so let it be for creating your own NGO. Let it be that first start whenever you're joining an NGO, let it be a connecting tool for you. Let's say you're getting connection out of it and you're moving out of it. That's the best part. To join an NGO after a few years, come out, start your own, push yourself forward. Second thing, can I take NGO as a full-time career or a passion fruit for me? That depends on your concept. So I can't determine whether you're going to take it full-time or a passion fruit. It depends upon you. Yes, there are both type of people existing on earth, and both of them are made successful. So it is not that only if I'm going to do it part-time and do another full-time day job, I'm going to succeed. Not like that. The people those have taken full-time career have also succeeded in this field itself. There are lots of examples. You can rush around and thoughts and see at least some 10 or 20 people in and around the scroll sheet of your Insta pages. So it is always
Yeah.
there. So the thing is, push yourself towards the one goal you have to achieve toward your NGO, set a motive and go forward. That's it.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks a lot for being patient
Sure,
and
man.
explaining all the things. I hope I know we got an idea of what an NGO is, and maybe in the future we'll see a number of NGOs coming out of popping up here and
Yep,
there,
yep.
and
Sure,
maybe down
sure.
the line they might you can drop your mail ID or something so that they can, if someone is seeing this, they can contact you as well. They can
Sure,
do that
sure,
after the
sure,
stream. You can do so. I don't think
sure,
you
sure.
can do after the stream. You go to the YouTube link and then you can post the your contact details so that if someone is viewing this, so that they will contact you further on discuss something.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
so thanks a lot
definitely,
for
man.
your time. So thanks a lot
Sure,
for
sure, sure.
joining
Thank
in
you. Thank
for
you.
today and
Sure,
giving
man.
valuable advice to the people. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Thanks a lot, guys, for joining in today. So we'll see next week with another personality, and stay tuned for that. Thanks. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, man. Bye bye.
Bye bye.